And I think that flicked this switch in me where I was like, okay, fuck you, watch this.
There was no one there to pick up the rucksack, to pick up the boat, to pick up the log, to go in there. It was you. There was no pat on the fucking back at 300, at 275, at 250, at 220. No, that was you.
Dog, listen, let's get something straight. I was born a nice kid. Somewhere along the line, I lost my fucking way.
You gotta have an unlimited supply of fucking fuck you. So whenever shit gets nasty, David Goggins goes, you had nobody anyway, motherfucker. You had nobody anyway, motherfucker. Look around you. There was no fucking team. It was you. There was no weight loss program or mom and dad waking you up saying you can do it, you can be better, trying to build belief. You built belief when you had nothing. Rock bottom.
Yo, what's good, you guys? I got a special guest today. His name's AJ. I mean, you know, he's right here at PFTBOXING. Shout out PFTBOXING, you know, for letting us be here. If you want to, like, just say anything, introduce yourself.
AJ Cutthroat Catarellos here in the best boxing club in the world. Ready for this interview.
Hell yeah. So, like, usually I like to start, like, just straight from the beginning. Like, I want to know, like, pretty much how your childhood, like, was, you know?
Okay. I definitely had a different upbringing. My dad really liked fighting. He honestly, he'd encourage fighting a lot. So I was fighting my cousins from an early age. I'd say about 4 or 5. I'd be fighting at family parties because, you know, the dads would put us against each other. And, you know, that was my first little introduction to fighting. Like, that's when I really started getting a taste for fighting. And I really started to like it at that age, I'd say. But, like,
so
even...
you started boxing, like, 4 or 5? Like, or it was just, like casual boxing, basically, right?
No, it wasn't casual. We were trying to hurt each other when we were young. Yeah, I remember the first time I stopped a kid with a body shot was my cousin JJ. Shout out JJ. Like, I still love you, but I hit him. My dad would always tell me, you know, aim for the solar plexus. So I hit him. Maybe I was 4 or 5 years old. I hit him to the solar plexus, and then he started coughing, and I kept hitting him there. And then his dad was like, "Okay, that's enough." Yeah. But like that's how I started out, like boxing, I'd say. But because it was just boxing, like we weren't kicking or grappling each other. We were just hitting each other, more bodies. We weren't hitting each other to the face. Like it was mostly bodies at the family parties.
Yeah. So you guys were like, I would say, so your dad, like, did he ever box, or he was just a big fan of it?
You could say my dad boxed. My dad fought a lot. Yeah. My dad was he has a temper, so he'd fight a lot for sure. Yeah, he'd fight a lot. Yeah.
Damn. So like, when did you like officially, like, was boxing the first sport you started, or was it like, was there something else?
It actually wasn't. No. I had been fighting. Like I had fought before at school and stuff from a very early age, but the first sport I actually started in and competed at was jiu-jitsu.
Jiu-jitsu.
Yeah. So jiu-jitsu.
So like, were you competing in tournaments and all that in jiu-jitsu?
I did compete in tournaments in jiu-jitsu from about 8 to 14. I competed jiu-jitsu.
Damn, that's crazy, bro.
Yeah.
So were you able to get like any of your belts, or it was just?
Yeah, I'd win tournaments and stuff like that. I'd win tournaments and stuff like that. Yeah.
That's sick, bro. So like, as a young age, you already like basically. You were like already growing the discipline, like, and all that, you know, like. Just...
Yeah, for sure. I at the younger ages, I didn't get the dieting part of it really because, you know, I was still a kid, so I didn't cut weight like I cut weight right now. But I definitely understood the training side of it.
The training, I see.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy, bro. So. I see that, like, right now I seen, like, you were just in Mexico and all that.
Yeah.
And how was that? Like,
man, that was an experience for me. That was a great experience for me, I'd say, because I got really in shape before I left for Mexico because I knew where I was going to be training at was a much higher elevation. Oh. So that really affected my cardio. Like, I'd say my cardio was about halved, but I definitely learned how to pace myself a little bit better because, you know, I was in shape, but it's like you take a breath up there when you're at 6,000, 7,000 feet. It's like you don't get a full breath. Yeah, it's like your lungs, it almost feels like your lungs don't fill up all the way. So I was throwing jabs and stuff. I was hitting the bag, shadow boxing, and like my shoulders would actually fatigue a lot quicker because they're not getting that oxygen.
That's
yeah.
crazy. So like that's actually like helped you then, you know, like training.
Oh yeah, for sure. I came back down here and my cardio feels like
like
and
way better.
yeah, way better, honestly. Yeah, because I was sparring out there too, and that was, man, shout out to PFTBOXING gym in Aguas. Shout out to Panchitos, shout out to Pepe, all my sparring partners out there. You guys really pushed me. Yeah, I really had to think, I really had to be conservative because I gassed out in that sparring, and you guys, I learned what it's like to gas out in Mexico, man.
Damn, so like you kind of got like a check, right? Like kind of like a, oh shit, like this shit's like real over here.
Oh yeah. I mean, same stuff in the U.S. People try and kill you in the U.S. too, but that was where I really had to push because like I was trying to make an impression for the promotion I'll be fighting for.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, so I was honestly willing to let whatever happen in there for the sake of my career.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. So like, so you were supposed to have your pro debut over there in Mexico? Or
it was supposed to be, we were planning to go pro in May in TJ,
okay.
but I went out there, I met the promoter, and they told me about a televised event in July. So we're looking to do that instead, the televised event in July, because you know, it's a better promotion. I like the city better, and I think it'd be better for exposure.
Exposure?
Yeah.
Oh, I see. So that'll be, yeah, that's smart right there.
Yeah.
So would you say like, because I mean, it's a controversial topic, but like, would you say boxing is like the hardest sport?
You know, I respect my MMA fighters because you guys have a lot of different things that you have to focus on. We only have to focus on the boxing, but I'd say mentally it's a lot harder because at MMA, you know, you get knocked down. That's it. That's usually the end of the fight. In boxing, you know, you get knocked down, you're concussed, you can get up, you can still make a 10 count, and you can get concussed. I don't know how many more times. And that's why you see people actually die in boxing and you don't really see people die in MMA. But I put the sports equal because I'd say MMA, you have to train a lot more disciplines, but in boxing there's a lot more risk.
Yeah, for sure. Like I think that's one of the main things too when I think about that argument is like, the thing about MMA is like, okay, you can be good at striking and still be like still win.
Yeah.
But like in boxing, you literally gotta master boxing because it's only one like style, you know, like it's just boxing.
Yeah.
So I would go to say like boxing probably is just the hardest sport just because it's just one style, like it's
for sure.
boxing. And then MMA, if you're good at grappling, okay, just grapple him.
Yeah.
Still win that way. So I mean, yeah, but for sure, like I have respect for boxing because man, like that head count is just crazy to me. Like you get knocked down and you're getting back up and you're not even all the way there again, like still, you know. So like it's crazy for sure. Like,
that's what people don't get about boxing. I'd say like I feel like the casual fan doesn't know like you get knocked down from a punch. That's not just like, oh, like you just get knocked down from, like that's brain damage, and people don't get that. Like you see a fighter get knocked down in a fight and he gets back up. He's trained to do that. Like a normal person would probably be in the hospital. Like, a concussion's a concussion. You think about it. You're getting hit hard to the point where you lose balance. Like your legs go out. Like, and you got to keep fighting. Like that's what people don't understand about it.
Yeah, and then it goes back like you were saying. Like there's people that are like, oh, bro, like, how didn't you get up from that? Like, bro, like, you know, they're talking from like Twitter thumbs, you know? And it's just like, bro, like, no idea. And I remember before I started, you know, I wasn't like that person that just like shit talk or anything, but like, I didn't know, like, I didn't realize how hard it is, like how difficult, like combat fighting is. It's just crazy, bro. Like, once you start it, you gain like so much more respect for doing it like every single day. And yeah, bro, it's crazy.
For sure.
Did you watch the Ryan fight?
I did. I was man, I'm glad I didn't bet on that fight because I was gonna bet on Devin.
Oh, really?
I was gonna bet on Devin. Yeah, I didn't think that Devin would actually engage with him like he did. Like, but I think Ryan was able to get into his head and talk him into standing there with him, and then you know that's Ryan's game. So I feel like Devin wasn't really fighting his fight. Right? Yeah.
Because I mean, if we look at it, you know, Haney is. Like I always thought he was the more skilled fighter. Yeah. And it was just like, if Ryan gets that left hook, then that's the only way he can win. But damn, bro, just the way I saw it, I was like, bro, what? Like
that's what I'm saying. Insane. Yeah, I feel like if Haney boxes the way Haney usually boxes. Like he keeps his distance, he uses a full ring, uses his long punches, his jabs, his straight right hands, and doesn't try and come forward on a dude like Ryan. Like coming forward on a dude like Ryan is crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And he's more of a counter fighter too, Haney. So like I was kind of surprised, like why is he the one engaging? But that was crazy for sure. Like just shocked the world, and like the odds were insane too. So like whoever put money on Ryan, you know, they cashed out.
And Ryan had to win like that because they were gonna try and rob Ryan.
Oh, yeah.
They were gonna try and rob Ryan. Yeah.
One judge 112. I'm like, bro.
Yeah.
That's crazy. And then the ref too.
Yeah, the ref was also giving Haney extra long on accounts.
Yeah.
That really shocked me. I'm really glad I didn't bet.
Yeah, for sure. So in boxing, I was gonna ask you, like, you know, when you're walking, like so are you a religious person?
Yes, sir. Yeah, I'm a strong Christian.
Nice. So like, is there any like verses that like stand out to you who are like, when you're walking out, you know, you just maybe say it in your head and like it makes you feel more calm or more motivated? Is there like a specific verse that you have?
Psalms 144:1. That's like every boxer's favorite Bible verse. Yeah.
Can you say like?
Lord, train my fingers for battle and or harden my hands for battle and train my fingers for war.
Damn, bro, that's a good one right there for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I always like wondered, because you know some boxers they may not be religious or anything like that, but like I feel like the people who are, they're more, I would say, calm or like
I feel like my calmness does come from my faith, because if I had to do it all on my own, I have to trust that whatever's supposed to happen is what God wants to happen, and that's for the best outcome. So win, lose, die, injury, like I have to trust, like, okay, this is part of His plan.
Yeah, and it takes a lot, you know, especially like for the fighters that lose, you know, maybe they lose faith, or maybe they start like doubting it, because you know they feel like everything has to go the way they have planned, and it's like the people who lose, you know, like Canelo, you know, it just made him a better boxer, you know, made him stronger, and Ryan too. Like so far, like from what we're seeing, like that loss, maybe it just changes the way he goes out now. So like I do like have respect for the people who like are religious with it, and I wanted to ask you too, like, how important is it that like for the people who are supporting you, or like who are your main supporters, that like you feel like without them, like maybe you couldn't do it, or like maybe you couldn't push yourself as hard, you know?
Definitely. When I've taken some hard losses, the people that have been there would be my brother, my brother Apollo, my good training partner Rocco, who's also a high level boxer, national champion. I'd say my coach Fernando, always motivating me, and my friends are always pushing me. Like even when I've taken losses and I feel like, is this really what I'm supposed to be doing? Like those are the people that reassure me, and then those are the people that ultimately make me come back harder.
Damn. Yeah, for sure. Because I feel like the people around you are for sure like are a priority, or like you need those people, because like you said, you started doubting yourself, and like man, your mind is like your worst enemy at times. So like,
it's all up here. It's all up here.
Like, you got to be real strong minded, because there is people who like could take it out and like they start, you know, maybe they won't continue with what they're doing, you know. And it's just like people got to take those losses and like just look at them as lessons, I would say. Because it is hard though, for sure, because you think you're the shit like when you haven't lost, and then when you do lose, it's like, damn, like, is this really worth it, you know? What do you think is like the most important thing, like boxing wise, that people got to get down, you know, to be able to like overcome, like to be like on the next level, you know?
I'd say you gotta be okay with not winning all the time, because even in sparring, you're gonna, if you're winning in sparring all the time, you're never gonna get better. You have to get beat up to progress in this sport. You don't have to get injured, but you're definitely gonna have to let people get the better of you. Because if I was sparring people I could beat up from day one, then I'd stay at that level. To elevate, you definitely need to be sparring people that are better than you and that are gonna catch you. So a lot of people are not okay with getting hit. You just have to, you know, take it in stride and, you know, honestly just be okay with it.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that makes a lot of sense because you don't want to be at a gym where you're the best one. I would say.
Yeah, it's like being the
all
smartest guy
time.
in the room. What they say about being the smartest guy in the room, you know?
Yeah, for sure. That's facts, bro. And I think that's somewhere where people may get comfortable too. You know, where they feel like, oh, I'm killing everybody here. Like I'm
Yeah.
smoking them. Like this is good for me, but at the same time, like you said, like it feels good too when you get like humbled. Like I remember when I first started sparring, and I'm sparring guys that are like 5 years in, like 7 years in, and then like they're beating the shit out of me, and it's just like I felt good though afterwards because I'm like, damn, bro, like it just checks you like you ain't shit, you know.
Yeah.
There's people that are way better than you, and it's just like it just tells you like you got to put more work in, and then whenever you start getting better and better, that's when it feels so good, you know. Like,
Yeah, it does.
yeah, for sure.
And even those like I feels like I call them storms. Like when you're in that storm and you don't have any gas left in the tank, and there's a dude hitting you really hard, and you know there's like 2 minutes left in the round, like that makes all the other sparring sessions seem like nothing. When you weather that storm, you can take that and you know, okay, I'm durable. Like I can go through this. And then honestly, I tell myself whenever like I'm tired in a sparring session that's maybe not as intense, like well, you made it through that. Like you made it through that dude beating you up like real bad for like 3 minutes, 2 rounds, 6 minutes, you know, like if you can make it through that, you can make it through anything. You gotta, it toughens you mentally as well as physically.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like especially like when you guess on a sparring, man, that's like the worst feeling. Like you're just like getting this swung at, and like it's just like you have nothing you can do.
Oh yeah,
that's like the worst feeling.
There's this kid in Aguas that I was sparring, and he has 90 amateur fights, and he's a 5-time national champ over there at my weight. And then the first 2 rounds, I did good against him. And then I went against another dude, and they threw him in again. And I was like, oh, like they're throwing him in again. Like I knew there was no gas left in the tank. I threw maybe about 7 punches that last round. And then he maybe threw about 140.
Damn.
Yeah, he threw about maybe 140 punches. He hit me to the liver. He hit me to the solar plex. And I shelled up.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, I'm just going to wait for him to gas out. He never gassed out.
That's like
he never gassed out. Yeah.
Like, damn, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's like Canelo versus Bivol, man. Like Bivol would nonstop throw combos, and it's just like
yeah.
Oh, this guy does not gas out, you know. Like he's just a different breed. And
the dude's smart. That kid that man I sparred was smart. He would throw in a way where he wasn't using too much energy, and when he saw a vital shot, he'd let it rip. He hit hard. Yeah.
Okay. So like when he saw like the perfect shot, like that's when he would use.
Yeah.
Damn, that's smart. So what are some of like your favorite boxers?
My favorite boxers, definitely Dimitri Bivol, James Toney. I like a dude named Emmanuel Augustus just for his looseness.
Yeah.
Those are the dudes I watch the most. I watch pretty much everyone. Yeah. Julian Jackson, he's an older boxer, a power puncher. As of current boxers, I'd say my favorite current boxer right now is definitely Dimitri Bivol.
Dimitri Bivol?
Yeah.
That guy's crazy.
Yeah.
So I wanted to like ask, because you know there's probably people watching who may want to know, like, how do you know like when you're ready to like become pro, you know?
How do you know when you're ready to become pro? I'd say it's a mindset, firstly, and then it's a style issue, secondly. So your mindset has to be when you're turning pro, like, okay, like, well, you'll get over this in the amateurs, but you'll get over, you know, I'm okay with taking damage in the amateurs. I'm okay fighting in front of a crowd in the amateurs. And then when you turn pro, that's when you have to be like, you know, okay, I'm ready to fight this fight, and I know that like he could hit me, and that could be, you know, that's it. That's when I think you're ready to turn pro. So once you accept that I could get hit and everything could be over, you'll start training accordingly, and that's when you're ready to turn pro, in my opinion.
So how important are those like amateur fights? Like how much would you say you would need to go through to like, okay, like maybe now is the time, like, you know, like I should do a pro debut? Or
I think you should go through everything in amateurs. I think you should stop someone in the amateurs. I think you should get stopped in the amateurs. I think you should win by decision in the amateurs. I think you should lose by decision in the amateurs. I think you should see as much as you possibly can in the amateurs, because the amateurs is like, it's like your trial run. And then when you turn pro, it resets. So I feel like you should get as much experience as you can in the amateurs. A lot of these guys I see at the amateur fights, like kids, or even young adults, they're cherry picking amateurs, and that's not what the amateurs is for. The amateurs is so you can develop, and then the pros, that's when you can start cherry picking it. You know, that's when you can start picking fights to make you look good. But the amateurs is so you can be tested.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
So for like in the amateurs, would you say like you kind of like could take more risks too? Like, would you go out there like, all right, let me try this out, or like try some new things out, or
No, you'll do all that in sparring, and you'll bring your sharpest game.
Yeah.
You'll bring your sharpest game to the amateur fights. Like I'd never do anything that I'm not comfortable with in an amateur fight unless like I needed to.
Oh, okay.
But no, for the most part, you'll get all of that out in sparring. I'd say the amateurs is more to get over the crowd experience and get used to what being scored is like.
Oh, okay. I would say too, like I would say like assuming like your mindset is probably so important too, because there's people that can't take, you know, like people in the crowd, or like
Yeah.
it gets to them and all that. Like that's why like you see the pro fighters, like basically the ones who they spar are the ones that couldn't handle that pressure, I would say.
Yeah.
So that's why they're just like sparring partners. So like how is your mindset? Like, how do you train your mindset, would you say?
I definitely, you know, that's God right there. Yeah, I definitely give that one all to God, because like I said, like crowd does not matter to me. I know that whatever, the thing that always keeps me most calm is like whatever outcome, whatever happens is for the good of those that love God. So, you know, I'm fine with it. I'm fine with whatever happens. Like, you know, whenever I take an injury, like I've had this rib shattered, I've had this eardrum also shattered. And then like, I think about it like, well, what good could come out of this? Okay, now I'm good at protecting this side of my body. Now I'm good at rolling right hands because I don't want to get this eardrum shattered again. Like I know that everything's part of the plan, you know? And that keeps me calm.
Yeah, for sure. So has there been like times where you go in, like maybe you still have like something that still hurts, and like you're just like,
oh yeah,
and like most of what I hear is like no one really goes in there 100%.
No.
So, like, but has there been times where like that messes with you, like, oh man?
Yes, there's a fight that you know, one of my hardest losses too, because I knew this a dude that was much better than. I had pulled this trap warming up. This is a recurring injury for me. This trap pulls and then it'll swell up. But I had pulled this trap and it did not feel good. Like my right hand, I didn't feel like I could throw it full force. And I also didn't feel like I could slip to that side or move as fluidly. But I was like, you know, like, how am I gonna be like, oh, I pulled a trap like while I'm warming up, like, and tell everyone I can't fight? Like I'm gonna go out there, I'm gonna fight, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
And also sparring sessions where I know like your head still hurts and you're about to spar, but I already told you I'm gonna spar, so I'm gonna spar.
Yeah, for sure. It's just like you gotta have that dog in you. Like,
for sure, yeah. I think that's part of being a professional also, you know?
Yeah, for sure, bro. Because I mean, we look at like some pro fights or whatever, and like they always talk about it after, which is kind of like, well, I mean, I don't know, like if you should or not, but like they always say like after the fight, like, oh, yeah, like I had this issue, I had that, and just like, damn, bro, like, and then you still ended up fighting. And then there's people who fight like with a broken like hand or something, and they still end up winning. And like, imagine that, like,
yeah,
your confidence probably goes like crazy high just from that, you know?
For sure.
Yeah. So,
yeah.
Like, this is another question like that I had that I feel like I want to know your answer is like, do you feel like the fighters that go through like a harsh childhood like makes them way stronger than someone that maybe they didn't have, like they had a good childhood, like, you know, like someone that went through some like tragedies or something? Do you feel like people need that, I would say, to be like on another level than others? Or how do you feel about that? Cause
I don't think you need it, but I think it definitely helps.
it helps.
I think it definitely helps because like I'm not gonna lie to you, like you're gonna have, like, if you want to compete at a high level, you're gonna have to get comfortable just being uncomfortable. So I feel like if you're used to being uncomfortable, no matter if it's mental or if it's physical from your childhood, then you're gonna be better off.
Yeah, because like if we look at like boxers, like I mean Mike Tyson, you know, boxers that went through like a hard childhood, they're like, they got like that crazy, it's just like they got that crazy heart, you know, that like they're not gonna stop or they're not gonna quit. And it's just, I always felt like, damn, like that plays a big role like in boxing, or MMA is just like coming from a hard childhood, you know?
For sure.
Yeah. So I wanted to ask you too, is like, do you feel like, because you know, combat fighting is it like a individual type sport, like, or do you feel like the people around you too is like very important, or do you feel like when you're going in there, it's just me, like it's just you, you know?
So leading up to a fight, definitely my team plays a big role. Like they're talking me through in the sparring, but when you compete, it's just you in there.
Yeah.
It's just you in there. Like I don't even see the ref, to be honest with you. Like the ref can't save you from getting hit by a big shot. So it's like I feel like it's just me in there.
Damn.
Just me and the other guy.
Like when you're in there, do you catch on like what everybody's telling you, or is it just like you're just too focused?
If I'm calm, yes.
Oh,
If I'm calm, yes, I'll hear everything, and it's just a matter of executing it when you do hear it. Yeah, but like you hear everyone screaming and everything too, so that's hard to pick it out.
Damn.
It's hard to pick it out in the screaming.
So when you go back in the corners too, is it like, are you trying to take everything in from your
Yes.
your coaches?
Yeah. I'm trying to take everything in.
And you trust them, right? Like
I trust them. Yeah. You got to trust your corner.
Because like, I mean, I'm pretty sure there's times where people are like, they hear what their coach is saying, but at the same time, they may not want to like risk or like do what they're telling you to do.
Yeah.
And like, do you feel like that's super important just to like trust what your coach is saying?
You have to trust your corner, because if you don't trust your corner, you're going to try and come up with your own plan on the fly. And that's crazy. Like, that's crazy. Like, you see what your opponent while you're fighting him, but your coach sees everything. He sees everything. He's got a third person view.
That's crazy, bro.
Yeah.
How do you feel about like your pro debut, like coming?
I'm excited. I'm really excited. Yeah. I want to stop the guy for sure. I want to get I want to put everyone on notice that I'm pro and I got power. I got pop, and I'm excited to hit people with those 10-ounce gloves, man. Because I drop people in those 16-ounce gloves through the headgear.
Oh,
I'm excited to put those 10-ounce gloves on. I'm excited.
Damn, like that. I'm pretty sure your confidence even goes higher. Like you're sparring in 16-ounce gloves and headgear, and like you're cracking people.
Oh yeah.
Bro,
Putting people out.
That's crazy to me. Like that's for sure. Your confidence probably goes way high.
Oh yeah.
Like doing that. So what would you say is like different, that makes you different from like maybe any other fighter that you're gonna fight? What'd you say?
I'd say that I'm pretty slick.
Yeah.
And when you have a slick guy, you don't usually see them have that one shot power.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a slick guy with one shot power, and you don't see that every day. Yeah. I can do pretty much everything. I like to counter a lot. I can throw combinations. I got good defense. I'm pretty well rounded, but the thing that's always set me apart is that power.
Power.
Yeah.
Okay, that's dope. So does your, like, for the pro debut, do you get to know like who you're fighting?
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Oh, okay, so you get to like study film and all that?
Yeah, we do.
Oh,
We're gonna be ready. We're gonna head back out to Aguas in late June.
Yeah.
For the fight in July. And we'll be ready.
So you're gonna have your training camp here, or it's gonna be down there?
It's gonna start here in Big Bear, so that I can get more acclimated to the elevation, and then we're gonna go in June, just so I can get a little bit more acclimation, and then we're gonna fight late July.
Damn, that's dope, bro. Like, how does it, Big Bear? That's crazy, because I know I think it was Sugar Shane, right, or Mosey?
A lot of people train up there.
Yeah.
Triple G.
Damn.
Abel Sanchez has a gym up there.
Damn.
A lot of people train up there. Yeah.
Damn, that's dope. How do you feel about like the Canelo versus Munguia fight? Like,
Oh man,
are you excited?
I'm excited for it, but I'm pretty sure Canelo's gonna win. You know, I think Canelo, because I feel like Munguia is really good, but he's really good against a certain type of fighter, because he's like, not to talk down on Munguia, but I feel like he's pretty one-dimensional.
Yeah.
Like, he comes forward and he throws lots of punches and he hits hard. I feel like Canelo's way more multi-dimensional. Canelo can counter, Canelo can power punch, Canelo can throw combinations, Canelo can move.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like it's going to be too much for Munguia, and he's not going to be able to catch Canelo with those crazy combinations he throws, and Canelo's going to counter him and pick him apart.
Yeah, for sure. Because I mean, we've seen Canelo fight those type of fighters, and he ends up like like he figures you out in the beginning, and then like when it's time to go, like he lets it go.
Yeah.
And I mean, I feel the same way. I did want. I don't know how you feel, but like I wanted to see Canelo versus Benavidez.
Oh, that's a tougher one.
Yeah, for Canelo.
Yeah, that's a tougher one. Because
people are
Benavidez.
saying he's running, right? Like, how do you feel? Like,
like how do you stand with a guy like Benavidez?
Yeah.
How do you stand in the pocket with a guy like Benavidez? Like, he hits really hard. He's really fast. He's got crazy cardio. He throws weird punches from weird angles. Like, I feel like he would catch Canelo and wear him down, but I also feel like at the same time, I'm not going to count Canelo out.
Yeah, because it's Canelo, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, because a lot of people right now are saying, like, that he's running, but, like, I don't know. I wouldn't want to say that he is, but at the same time, like, I feel like it's important to start making the fights that people do want.
Yeah.
Because right now, I feel like, well, maybe right now it's like, I feel like boxing is coming, like, back up.
Yeah.
Because people are actually fighting, like, who the fans
The
want
good
to
fights.
see.
Yeah, good fights.
And I feel like shout out to Ryan and Tank for, like, starting that.
Yeah.
Because, like, now it feels like it's coming up more and more. And
like, we're getting back to the golden era where people don't really care if you have an L on your record.
Yeah.
I think we need to get back to that.
Yeah,
because that's
sure.
where when you see big fights, that's when you see the best fight the best.
Yeah, for sure. Do you think that puts a lot of pressure for the fighters? Like, you know, oh, I don't want to, like, I'm undefeated. I don't want to lose. Like, do you feel like that gets to them a lot?
Oh, yeah. Because we know that once we take our first L, then our pay goes, like, people just stop caring. People stop caring. It's mainly the fans. It's mainly the boxing culture because, you know, Instagram, like, you see, like, when Ryan took his first loss, like, you had people standing him. Now you have people talking all this trash in his comments. Like, it's crazy. Like, you don't know what these guys go through. Like,
exactly.
like, it's going back to Canelo Benavidez thing. Like, how can you talk bad about Canelo when he started his career at 147 and you have a natural one light heavyweight and that's really good. That's the top of the light heavyweight division. And you're being like, you're scared when he started. He's a much smaller guy. Like, you don't know what it's like to get hit by a guy that size when you're a 147 pounder. Like, you can't talk bad about Canelo for ducking, even if he is ducking.
Yeah, it's like you gotta, like, for sure. Because I mean, shout out to Canelo too, because he's going in other weight classes and like trying to get those people's belts, and that already takes a lot. He doesn't have to do that.
No,
like, he's
not naturally that size.
Yeah. So I mean, like, so would you say, like, haters like that, how would you deal with that? Like, would you even pay attention to it, or you just like not even like worrying about it at all?
Oh, man,
because there's gonna be haters, you know.
I've had my fair share of haters, and like what I do now, like, I know, like, at one point it'll be overwhelming and I can't respond to all of them.
Mm-hmm.
But what I do now is like, why are you coming to the gym then? I'm here, or I'll be in your city, or when I'm traveling for training, like, I'll be around you. So, like, why don't I'll just use my left hand? I'll just use a jab. We'll see what happens. That's not good. I know that's not good because they are like a spectator. But like, what I do tell myself that keeps me from doing that is like, they're a spectator.
Yeah.
You're on the outside looking in. If you had what it took to do this, you'd be in here.
Yeah.
But all you can do is talk.
Yeah, for sure. And then it's just like you said, like, you shouldn't be wasting your energy like responding to everyone. I know it's hard because like even me, like, every time I'm always uploading clips and like I'll have my predictions and I always say like, hey, I'm a casual, like, I know for sure, like, I'm probably gonna be wrong, but this is just what I think.
Yeah.
But you'll have people in the comments like, oh, you're an idiot, like, you don't know anything, and it is hard, bro, to like not to respond,
right? Because
people say the dumbest things, and it's just like, bro, I want to respond, and people are telling me don't even respond.
Yeah,
because that is what they want. You know? They want your attention.
And like, to me too, I'm like, so to some people, like, why are you so bitter? Like, you don't know this person on the internet. Why are you so bitter? Like, what are you pissed off about? What's going on?
Yeah, and it gets to you, bro. Like, there's times where like I'll just be thinking about it, like, oh, I'm gonna respond to this guy right now, and
right?
And I'm like, what am I doing? Like,
you're feeding into their fucking bullshit, you know? Yeah.
Like, that's what they want to do. Like, the whole day is just, you know, like, just be hating on
just troll, just troll around and see if they, I don't know if it gets the like a little like endorphins going or whatever to get people to respond, piss people off. But that's a sad life if that's what you do for entertainment. Like, I don't want to make your life sadder by responding and feeding into that, you know?
Yeah, like we see that right now with Haney. With Ryan, everybody was hating on him. Yeah, and now they're on his side. It's like, oh, like, you gotta, like, I'm pretty sure pros already understand. Like, it doesn't matter like what you do. There's always gonna be people hating on you. Or like rooting for you. But like, just crazy how fake people are. And then it's like, if you saw that fighter in real life, you're gonna be like, oh, let me get a picture.
Right.
So it's just like at the end of the day, man, just I would say like try not to like pay attention to it too much.
Oh no.
And like I wanted to ask you too, are you gonna be like uploading more highlights or clips of like, you know, like maybe your pro debut too? Like,
Oh yeah, we're gonna have a camera crew. It's gonna be televised, and we're gonna. That's what I'm really focusing on right now, because that's what I want to blow up my social media. Because like I said, pro boxing nowadays, social media first, skill second, which is crazy. Like, you know, crazy. That's not how it used to be. But once you know, the Jake Paul era started, that's how it is now. Yeah.
What do you think about like him like joining boxing and all that? Do you feel like that was good for boxing, or that kind of like ruined things?
I think it was good and bad, because I feel like the old way to do it, you had to have a crazy amateur career, and then that's how people paid attention to you. But I feel like the way things are now with Jake Paul, like, you don't have to have a crazy amateur background for lots of people to pay attention to you. You just have to have a crazy social media. So it gives a lot, like, not saying that amateurs won't take you far, but you can be really good with not a lot of amateur fights, build up your social media, and go straight to big fights. Before, you had to, you know, fight this guy, fight this guy in the pros, as well as have a crazy amateur background to have people pay attention to you.
Damn. So you feel like that? I could see where like that kind of sucks too, because you know, maybe I'm pretty sure there's more people that don't really want to do all the talking.
Yeah.
Because maybe it plays with their mind too. Like, oh, what if I'm like talking like all this and like things don't go my way, I'm gonna look dumb, you know?
Yeah.
And it's just like, it does suck that a lot of the times you do see like people, they're kind of forced to do that now. Like, kind of like selling, you gotta like sell your tickets, you know?
You gotta be a character now.
Yeah, and that I'm pretty sure that's tough for some people, but some people are just like naturally like good at that, and it's just like,
yeah, some people are, some people, I'd say a lot of fighters are not. There's a fighter out there that's really popular. His name's Anthony Sims Jr. I like his style a lot. Shout out Anthony Sims Jr. But he has a clip talking about, like, imagine if we had this Instagram era back in the 70s when, you know, Duran was popular, Hagler was popular. Like, imagine what would they upload on Instagram? They really wouldn't upload on Instagram. Like, they just want to fight. Yeah. And that's how a lot of fighters are.
Yes. Yeah. So do you respect more of the fighters that don't really like talk like that, or how do you feel?
The ones I respect the most are the ones that were able to not talk like that, but be successful anyways and make money anyways. But that's very hard. Yeah. Like Terrence Crawford, best in the world, but he doesn't have to talk because he's the best in the world. Just he did it off his skills alone. He doesn't have to be a personality.
That's good. Yeah. I respect that too. Honestly, I respect too the ones that fucking like they talk. And they back
it up. That's why there's a fighter named James Toney. Like, he was before the social media era, but James Toney would talk all of it and he'd back it all up.
Damn. That's crazy. So do you feel like you gotta kind of do the same thing, or how do you feel like, because also too, like, you want to be yourself, you know?
That's what. Yeah, I'm big on that.
Person. So how do you feel about that type of stuff? Are you trying to be that way, like to where you gotta? Do you feel forced to like have to like upload or entertain? Like in that way? Yes
and no. I'm not gonna be someone that I'm not for social media. I'm gonna be more talkative. I'm gonna be more affluent. I know I have to be present on social media, but I'm not gonna do something that I'm not, because at the end of the day, that's gonna make me feel like I don't really like. That's gonna make me feel kind of gross, to be honest with you. Like, I don't want to do all that. Like, I don't want to do anything crazy. I don't want to do any stunts. Like, I was talking to you earlier, like, I don't even like uploading my sparring, but I know it's what does numbers. That's the extent of what I'm willing to do, I'd say, because I don't want to lose myself just trying to be a social media person. I want to be a fighter first.
That's like, it takes a lot too, because, you know, it's like you said, it's rare now. I mean, I feel like Pitbull, he's someone that is like that too. Like,
he's skills first. Yeah.
So I mean, you could make your way that way as well. So you don't really got to do all that. But like, there is people that want to see more of you. You know, like more sparring maybe, or more like just videos of you drilling. I would say too. Like, it's satisfying to see someone like just hitting pads and it looks like dope. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I feel like that's one thing I need more outside eyes to tell me, because like I watch so much film I shadow box so often, I hit the bag so often, I spar so often that like I feel like I'm a little bit desensitized to what looks good to the layman, because like I notice every little thing. I'm like, oh, I'm not gonna upload it. That looks sloppy. Like this was out here. Like that looks sloppy. I'm not. But people don't like walking around. They don't notice that. And I'm like, you know, like I noticed that though.
Yeah.
That stuff bothers me.
Damn, that is true. You gotta kind of like, I mean, maybe if you show like the casual, like the normal person or the average person, and then you know get their opinion on it, they're gonna probably like gas you, like even though you're maybe seeing like, oh, I don't think it's that good, but at the end of the day, like for the average viewer, they're gonna like it, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember before I like started training or anything like that, I would just be satisfied seeing like, okay, I used to see Ryan's like drilling.
Yeah.
That's like a perfect example. Like people see that and they're like, damn, I want to see this guy fight, you know?
Yeah.
And I feel like it is important to at least like, yeah, you don't gotta do like the knockouts and all that, but like drilling or anything like that, like just it inspires and like it motivates people, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I tell people like it's kind of a little trade secret, but there's shadow boxing for the camera, and then there's actual shadow boxing. And actual shadow boxing is not as flashy as shadow boxing for the camera.
Yeah, for sure.
My actual shadow boxing is slow. Like I'm being deliberate with everything. I'm working defense. I'm moving around. And shadow boxing, I go like that type of stuff.
Yeah.
But you know, I do both. Like I said, there's stuff that looks good on camera, and there's stuff where it's more reality.
Yeah, for sure. And I feel like that's the most important thing though, like just be yourself.
Yeah.
And like, because everyone's gonna like that instead of being someone fake, you know. Being yourself now is like it's like it's rare, you know. There's so many fake people now.
Oh yeah.
And it's like that's why I made this shirt, you know. It's like it means a lot to me because it's like you know, it says like what does it say? It's a dying breed, but I'm still maintaining. So it basically meaning like I'm being real, and like it is a dying breed right now.
Yes, sir.
But I want to maintain that way. Like I don't want anybody's like opinions or anything getting to me, you know, to change, you know.
Because at the end of the day, I don't want to lose myself in this.
Yeah.
I don't want to look back and be like, oh, like I used to be a totally different person before I put on this social media act, and like I'm not gonna say any names, but I know people where it really affected them being a totally different person, you know.
Yeah, for sure, bro. Is there anybody you want to shout out? You know, I appreciate your time.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for having me on.
Yeah, for sure, bro. Like, obviously, like we're gonna keep working. You know,
yes,
we're gonna
sir.
work on a video. And is there anybody you want to shout out?
Shout out all my sparring partners in Aguas. You guys really helped me out. Shout out my coach Fernando for setting up everything, talking to the promoters. Shout out to my promotion. Shout out to my brother. Shout out to my training partner Rocco.
Your pro debut, like
pro debut.
See it? Or
oh yeah, we're gonna stream it, and then it's also gonna be televised in Mexico.
Hell yeah, that's
yeah.
Dope. So like, shout out your Instagram, you know.
Oh yeah, at AJ Catarelos. Follow me. Trying to grow it, guys. You guys following really helped me out.
Yeah.
Like I said, that's how I get my sponsorships. Oh yeah, shout out all my sponsors too. You guys are paying for this.
Yeah.
You guys are letting me go out there, but yeah, shout out to everyone that's helped me get here, because if I tried to do it by myself, it wouldn't work out.
Yeah, for sure. Other than that, bro, I appreciate your time for sure. And this shit, it was dope.
Yeah, I appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you.
All right, everybody. Stay blessed. And we're out. Peace.
Yeah, peace out.